You can put in any other code. It won't open. I gotta put in my exact code. So it's bam, 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 bam. I'm sorry. Was that not my exact code? Wait, all of them have to be up and those ones have to be down, huh? Yep. Alright, that's the code. Alright gamers, last episode we built this hidden flush door. And now it's time to throw a lock on there to get rid of this lever. So there's a pretty popular redstone YouTuber named Mumbo Jumbo. He has a pretty cool design. So hopefully I remember to link to his video in the description. But we're gonna just try to throw it up right here and hopefully it looks nice. Hopefully it fits. Let me run over to the redstone world real quick. This is basically what we're going for. Okay, it has a lot of choices, so you have to know the exact lock. Changing just one thing will obviously disarm it. So it has to be the exact combo out of this 3x3. So he says in his videos how many options there are. There's a lot of options. It would be almost impossible to guess somebody's code. So I guess for the backdrop, the smartest thing for me to use would probably be some copper. That'd probably look the best, I'd imagine. Fit the whole vibe of the base. Let it turn green like everything else. I think the goal is to place it right here. Let's just see how this looks. You know, maybe we put a ring of stone around it. But that seems plausible. Now let me just make sure I can get in here behind here. So I have to come all the way down. Then I think 5 backwards. Okay, we're gonna bust into this. I'm thinking this is actually gonna interfere with some of this redstone back here, so we're gonna have to move it forward. No biggie. Probably move it a little bit over too. Then I have the fun challenge of trying to fit this into everything else in the end of the video. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Alright. That's what we're going for, as long as there's enough space. Let me see again. It has to be 5 back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be it. Dig everything out. Definitely gonna have to do something else with the access room right there, but that's okay. Alright, let me get rid of some of this brick around here, because we're gonna have to use that somewhere else. This is actually going to extrude pretty heavily out of this hillside, so there might even be another layer of block that needs to go right here, but that is a-okay still. Let me grab my redstone here. We just need some torches, some dust, some repeaters. We can make this happen. And levers. Where is all the levers? Okay, perfect. So boom, you got all your levers. And then you just use redstone, dust, and torches to decide if you want the levers to be up or down for your combo lock. So because I'm playing by myself and I don't really have to worry about anybody else trying to even come on this world, I'm gonna do something simple that I can remember. Like something like a pattern, you know? Like a plus. But it could literally be anything you wanted it to be. Like if you wanted your code to be this, you could have your code be that. And chances of somebody guessing that are so slim, it's nearly impossible. So for my actual code, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down, 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 down. So for this lever to be down, I need a torch. Bing! And for those other 2 levers to be up, I need some dust. Bing, 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 bing. And then we just hook everything together like that. So you should be able to see right here, this one has to be down for this to be off. Okay? So if this is down, that's on. Nothing else will work, okay? These both can't be down. These both can't be down. Just has to be this one to be down to make it off. There's no other way you can power that redstone off with any other combination, which is basically how this works. So boom, that's the code for the first row. Okay, now to do the second row of levers, you have to put a bunch of torches. Then you have to put some repeaters going out from those torches. Oh, I put this on the wrong level. Has to go down a level. Just put a block off of that bottom torch right there. That'll solve the old issue. Then these torches are going to power these redstone repeaters. And then you want that going into a block. And then you can build another little 2x2 area back here basically. That works the same way this does. So the only one that needs to be up is the middle one. And that's the only one that's going to get a torch. So boom. And then the other two, just like that, I believe. Alright, so this third top row works a little bit differently than all the other rows. Where'd my building blocks go? Wham, wham, wham. So we put torches down here. Bing, bing, bing. Perfect. Then you just put some blocks on top of the old torches. Just like that. Then now some blocks go on top of these repeaters. If the lever is going to be up, we need to use a torch. So that one's up. Torch there. And then if it's down on this level, you use a repeater. That's the only thing that's different. You put blocks like this. Then you connect all that together. That should be it. That should in fact be it. So now all I have to do is link all these connections together. So you just do that with some repeaters on the side going into blocks. So that one goes like that. Very good. This top one works a little bit different. You let it drop before. Then you gotta get a repeater right here somehow. That also goes into a block. And now we just have one more. Down here. And then this one goes into a block. We're barely operating with enough room here. I don't know how I'm going to cover this up. I might have to put this somewhere else. Here's the line that goes to the door. Then you just go like this, I think, to connect all these up. I think that's all it takes. Just two from that one, up one, two to that one. And this block controls that as well. And then there's a torch that comes off the side. I think right about here. Then that leads to your redstone. So that's open. That's closed. That's open. So if you unset the code, it's closed. You can put in any other code. It won't open. Just put them all down again. I gotta put in my exact code. So it's bam, 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 bam. I'm sorry. Was that not my exact code? Wait, all of them have to be up and those ones have to be down, huh? Yep. Alright, that's the code. So you have to get it exactly right. Or else you ain't getting into your base. So now all that's left to do is for me to just figure out how everything else is going to work in here. Because I'm going to have to change this up. Actually, I'm not going to. The access tunnel will remain the same. That is good to know. Okay. So all I need is some stone bricks and some stone. Shoo, buddy. Then I think I'm just gonna cover this like this. Just make a cube type of dealio. How's that looking? That is looking. The I'll just see if I can take these walls all the way in like that. This might come out extremely ugly. I'm gonna have to hide all this stuff going on here. And just try something simple. Something super dumb simple. Okay, I don't know how I'm feeling about it yet. Definitely add that there. I'm definitely gonna have to upgrade the lighting around here at some point. How's that making me feel inside? Takes up a lot of space. That it does. It kind of seems a little bit random. Just jutting out of the wall like that. Let me see, if I was gonna fill up pretty much all the space with aquarium stuff, that would leave me with like maybe a 2 wide aquarium, maybe a 3 wide aquarium. No, because if the aquarium was 3 wide, I'd only have 1 line for the water. Interesting. I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about this. Maybe it's this part of the wall that's tripping me out. Maybe a little block there. That doesn't look so bad. That's definitely a keeper for sure. I'm thinking, if you guys think it's really ugly and think I should remove it, let me know. I could put it somewhere different. It fits in with all this though. Gives us a nice big open room back here to do something with. Gives me enough room in here to put an aquarium, which I'm trying to do for sure. And then once the aquarium is in here, everything's gonna be pretty out of room. So this is no big deal. Actually, let me just real quick, just kind of like rough out how big the aquarium will probably end up being. So this will be a wall. That will be a wall with an aquarium. Then I'll have my lock options. You know what? I think I'm just gonna run it. It's Minecraft. If I end up hating everything, I can always just change it again, so no big deal really. This brings us to the end of the video for sure. So I'm going to hopefully remember to leave a link in the description to Mumbo Jumbo's video on how to do this, just in case you need a more in-depth tutorial than what I showed you. And definitely expect to see us throw in a fancy, schmancy aquarium right here. Really big. I'm stuttering so much today. Really bring the whole place alive. Get rid of our little pond here. It's gonna have to go. But this was a fun little set of projects for this week. Again, I want to quickly mention we got the wall of supporters. No one's asked to be on it. All you have to do is drop in the comments and be like, "Yo, wall of supporters. Here's what I want to say." And you'll be cemented in this base forever. You think about it. Your name with a quote will be here forever. I'm gonna go ahead and skedaddle. Thank you for joining me here. Leave one of these. I'd really appreciate it if you left one of those. I'll catch you in the next one, gamers. Deuces.